My name is Jim Jamison, and my wife Diana, and my son Daniel and I welcome you to our farm and also to the experience of peace and plenty. The farm is called Stillwork Farm. It's one of 8 farmsteads that have formed together in a rural historic district. It's the first ever accomplishment here in Frederick County, or for that matter, for the state of Maryland. So I want to say a word about where we are right now in time and in space. Okay. So in space, geographically, our farm extends as far as you can see, and behind the farm, altogether, there's 1,100. It's 1,100 acres that constitute. Inside that ridge, there's 3 other farms. On the side of that ridge, there's 3 other farms, and they're about a third apiece. So together, pull it all together. As I say, about 1,100 acres. So on the historic side, we just mentioned that the first owner, or one of the first owners of Stillwork here, was a gentleman named Basil Dorsey. Basil Dorsey was a captain in the George Washington's army during the Revolutionary War. And so that takes us back in time. It actually goes back a little bit further, but it gives you a sense. So I would just say that us involved in this process are very proud to be a part of an effort to further preserve our legacy of agriculture, our history, and our farming. And I think it's, in addition to the history and the historic structures, we're also very determined to project the way of life that exists in the farming community. And that way of life involves family, it involves farming, and it involves a deep commitment to the well-being of everyone in this particular community. I think we all have a lot to learn from that, and as we go forward, I hope we'll have a chance to tell you more and others more about how things go here, how they work, and how important they are. So thank you very much. I want to introduce our county executive now, Jessica Fitzwater. Come down, Jessica. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am so just excited to be here on what is a simply stunning day. So good job, Jim, for ordering the weather today. There are so many folks here that helped to make this happen. I really just want to talk about Jim for a second, though. The legwork involved, the collaboration, bringing people together, the stamina and the tenacity to really make this happen. It really is so appreciated, and it does not go unnoticed by your neighbors, but really by the whole community. All the property owners that are here that believed in this vision, thank you for helping to make this possible. Jim already said it, but this district is the first of its kind, and we really hope it's not the last, both for Frederick County, but also as a model for the state of Maryland. I also want to recognize that there are several members of our county council here, which also needed to support this in order to make this happen. So we have our council president, Brad Young, who is here, as well as council member Steve McKay. We're in his district right now, as well as council member MC Keegan. So thank you all for your support. We, of course, have a lot of our historic planning commission members here as well. And this is a project that I know that is near and dear to your hearts too. So thank you to our commissioners, plus our Amanda and Bo, our historic preservation team, and Beth and Shannon, our ag preservation team. So many folks that have really come together to make this happen. And we're just very excited to be recognized by the Maryland Historical Trust today for this work. In Frederick County, our motto is rich history, bright future. And I feel like standing here today, you couldn't really have a better representation of that. We're not only preserving the historical structures, the way of life, the farming community, but doing this recognizes that this type of preservation is also part of the bright future of Frederick County. That if we're going to continue to embrace agriculture as one of our top industries. We're going to make sure that we're not just preserving the land, but we're also preserving the industry and the way of life and the ability and the viability of continuing to farm in Frederick County, and the fact that we need to preserve our land as we continue to build climate resiliency and how we're going to respond as a community to our changing climate. And Frederick County is so well positioned to continue down that path. It's certainly something that I am committed to, and it's also something that our Livable Frederick Master Plan directs us to do. We have such a unique opportunity in Frederick County to both be responsive and recognize the growth in different business industries and the residential growth of the families that want to come live their lives and see their dreams fulfilled in Frederick County, but to also continue to preserve our farmland and our forests and our natural resources that are not just critical to Frederick County's identity, but truly critical to us continuing to be sustainable as a community where people want to live, where they're able to live and work and thrive. So I'm so excited about the opportunities that are ahead of us, and also the fact that everybody here is being recognized for this accomplishment. And, it's really just the start. This year, we announced the launching of a new Office of Agriculture here in Frederick County, so that we're bringing together our ag innovation, ag business development, and ag preservation staff and programs to be that one-stop shop for our farming community. We're ahead of the curve in our goals for preserving ag land, over 75,000 acres preserved. And our planning and permitting staff, our historic preservation and ag preservation staff are looking at how we can continue to advance our priority preservation areas and balance the preservation with the growth that's coming to the county. It's my commitment, and I know it's the commitment of everyone here to stay down that path. So we're so excited to be here and very excited to welcome Maryland Historical Trust. So Elizabeth Hughes, the director, is going to come on up next. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. My name is Elizabeth Hughes. I'm the director of the Maryland Historical Trust and Maryland State Historic Preservation Officer, and it's wonderful to see so many of you out here on this beautiful day. I'm so excited to be here to present the 2024 Maryland Preservation Award for Excellence in Community Impact to the Peace and Plenty Rural Historic District, the first locally designated rural historic district of its kind in Maryland. Since 1975, the Maryland Historical Trust Board of Trustees has honored the outstanding preservation efforts of individuals, businesses, nonprofit organizations, local governments, and others who protect, steward, and share the historic places and cultural heritage that make Maryland unique. Today, we're happy to have one of our board members present, Tom Vitanza, who's going to serve as my Vanna White here to my right. So welcome, Tom, as well. The local designation process for the Peace and Plenty District was spearheaded by resident Jim Jamison at his home today, and involved the cooperation and collaboration between many different individual property owners as well as local and state agencies. The farmsteads in the area have both historical and architectural significance and exemplify the evolution of farm life over the period of 1760 through 1940. The gently rolling topography that you can see behind me in this part of Frederick County is distinguished by farmhouses, bank barns, dairy barns, silos, milk houses, fences, woodlots, farm ponds, and farm lanes, all of which combine to create a cultural landscape that has survived with very little change, which is remarkable. Nearly all of the properties within the district are working farms that are protected by agricultural preservation easements, which require that agricultural operations cannot be restricted on these properties. These provisions had to be carefully navigated when crafting the local historic district. In the end, an innovative two-tier historic preservation review process was created that allows the County Historic Preservation Commission to review changes to the historic farm structures and permits advisory comment only on changes to those areas in active agricultural use. The final result was the protection of over 1,000 acres of agricultural land and 48 historically significant buildings, ensuring the rural history of Frederick County is preserved into the future. And I think this isn't only a model in Maryland, but possibly nationwide, so I think it's something that really is outstanding. This initiative created a cohesive approach to safeguard community character, serving as a potential model for other historic districts. And so, on behalf of the Maryland Historical Trust. I'm pleased to present this Excellence in Community Impact Award to Jim Jamison on behalf of the Peace and Plenty Rural Historic District. So, Jim. Oh, wow. It's really standing.
Oh, what happened?
We have additional certificates to recognize. I'll announce them and County Executive Fitzwater will hand them out. So when I call your name, if you could come up and stay up here, we're going to get a big group picture afterwards. We have Dana and Steve Schultz, one of our property owners.
Helen is here.
Yes.
David Harshman, another property owner. Will you accept on behalf of your brother Gareth as well? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Jared and Rebecca Burrell. Jeff and Judy England. The Frederick County Agricultural Preservation Board, and accepting on their behalf is Ben Hagel. Frederick County Historic Preservation Commission, and Mary Thompson, Chair of the Commission, is accepting for the Commission. Frederick County Agricultural Preservation Office, and Shannon O'Neill is accepting for
Yay.
the Livable Frederick Planning and Design Office. Bo Lockhart is going to do the honors of that. Councilmember Steve McKay. Can't designate without our council members. Councilmember MC Keegan Ayer.
They didn't know they were getting
You're just doing a job. Not the shoes to wear coming downhill. Yes. And then Councilmember